The rain has stopped. For 40 days and nights it fell, washing the world clean. Now, only silence remains. A vast ocean stretches to every horizon, its surface like glass beneath a pale sun. Drifting on this endless sea is the Ark, a wooden behemoth, the last refuge of life. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of damp wood and the breath of 1,000 creatures. Beyond the lowing of cattle and rustle of wings, there is a profound quiet. The world before is gone, drowned, forgotten. Imagine being Noah standing on the deck, the only human alive to remember the world that was. The mountains, valleys, cities, and people, all lost beneath the water. What must Noah have felt? Grief for what was lost, or the weight of responsibility for what was to come. He was not just a zookeeper, he was the custodian of the future, tasked with rekindling humanity on a barren earth. The Ark's story is more than survival, it's a profound mystery. Its scale, as described in ancient texts, is staggering, a floating fortress against the wrath of God and nature. But perhaps its true purpose was even grander. We focus on the animals, but what if the Ark was also a time capsule? A library of a lost world? What if it carried secrets and knowledge too precious to be lost? The story of Noah's Ark is one of history's greatest puzzles, existing at the edge of myth and reality. To truly understand it, we must ask. What else was on the Ark? Beyond fur and feathers, what treasures were hidden within its walls? The answer could change how we see our past and the very foundations of our world. This is a journey into a mystery as deep as the flood itself. The flood story isn't unique to the Bible, it echoes across cultures and continents. In Mesopotamia, Utnapishtim builds a boat to survive a deluge. In India, Manu is saved by a god in the form of a fish. In Greece, Deucalion and Pyrrha survive in a wooden chest. Each tale shares core elements: a divine warning, a chosen survivor, a vessel, and the preservation of life. This suggests the Great Flood may be a memory, not just a myth, a trauma from a real event that shaped early humanity. Archaeologists have found evidence of massive floods worldwide, disasters that became legends. The details differ, but the essence, a world washed clean and a new beginning, remains. If so many cultures remember this event, the Ark becomes central to understanding our past. The Bible says it carried Noah, his family, and animals. But to restart civilization, more than life was needed. Knowledge, wisdom, and the building blocks of culture were essential. The Ark's most important cargo may have been the accumulated knowledge of a world about to be lost. What if the Ark was humanity's first library? To know what was saved, we must know what was lost. Ancient texts like the Book of Enoch describe a world of brilliance and corruption, an age of incredible knowledge, but at a terrible price. The Watchers, angels who descended to earth, taught humanity forbidden secrets: metallurgy, sorcery, astrology, and more. This knowledge elevated humanity, but also poisoned it, leading to violence and godlessness. The flood was not just punishment, but a reset, a desperate act to cleanse a civilization spiraling out of control. Noah's mission was twofold: save the pure lineage of life, and preserve the right kind of knowledge, not the corrupting secrets of the Watchers, but the wisdom needed to build a better world. Agriculture, building, law, astronomy. Noah became a filter, choosing what knowledge would survive. The Ark was not just a lifeboat, it was the world's first archive. It carried the seeds of civilization, not just its creatures. What knowledge would you save if you had to rebuild the world? That was Noah's burden. The image of animals marching 2 by 2 is iconic, but the Bible says Noah took 2 of every kind, not every species. Kind suggests a broader category, perhaps just the foundational ancestors of today's diversity. Some theorize Noah took juveniles, not adults. Smaller, easier to care for, with their lives ahead of them. Others imagine the Ark as a genetic library, preserving DNA rather than living animals. A seed bank for the animal kingdom. Managing thousands of animals for a year would have been a monumental task. Some legends suggest a miracle. The animals entered a divine hibernation requiring little care. Others propose ingenious engineering, automated feeding, drainage systems. Noah was more than a farmer. He was a master planner. If such care went into preserving animals, imagine the thought given to preserving human civilization. The animals were the hardware of the new world, but what about the software? Our knowledge, culture, and memory. The Ark's true cargo may have been far more than flesh and bone. It was the blueprint for a new beginning. If the Ark was a time capsule, what human treasures did it carry? Legends say Noah brought sacred relics, Adam's staff, a branch from the tree of life, and ancient books of knowledge. These texts, said to contain secrets of the universe, divine laws and prophecies, were guides for rebuilding society. Some traditions speak of glowing stones or inscribed tablets, holding wisdom on agriculture, medicine, and law. These objects were more than tools, they were symbols of continuity, connecting the new world to its sacred past. By carrying these relics, Noah ensured humanity would not start from a blank slate. The Ark was not just saving life, it was saving the soul of civilization. What would you choose to preserve if you had to start over? Among the Ark's legends is a sealed chest, its contents a secret, known only to God. Some say it held relics from Eden, or the remains of Adam and Eve, connecting old humanity to the new. Others believe it contained blueprints for the Ark of the Covenant, or even lost technology from a forgotten age. The chest was a secret passed from one covenant to the next, a hidden link in humanity's story. Whatever it held, the sealed chest represents the Ark's ultimate secret. A mystery within a mystery, a promise of future revelation. The Ark carried more than animals and grain, it carried the unknown. Beyond relics and mysteries, the Ark must have carried practical tools for survival. Noah needed seeds for crops, tools for building, and knowledge for every trade: blacksmithing, weaving, pottery, and more. The Ark was a floating seed bank and workshop, a repository of skills and technology. Maps and charts may have guided them in a reshaped world, helping them know when to plant and where to settle. The Ark was the ultimate survival kit: biological hardware, technological software, and the operating system of sacred memory. Every item was a piece of a grand puzzle, chosen to reboot civilization. Noah wasn't just escaping disaster, he was executing a plan for reconstruction. The Ark was preservation on a planetary scale. The story of Noah is more than survival. It's a universal pattern found in flood myths worldwide. At its core, a corrupt world, a divine warning, a chosen survivor, and the preservation of knowledge. The Ark was an ark of memory, carrying the story of humanity across destruction. Its cargo was more than physical. Animals, seeds, tools, and sacred texts were pieces of collective memory. Noah was the world's first archivist, deciding what parts of our story were worth saving. The Ark is a symbol of culture, the sum of our shared knowledge, stories, and skills. It ensured humanity would not start from zero, but with the wisdom of a lost civilization. The Ark's greatest cargo was hope, the hope for a second chance and the promise that life, knowledge, and memory can endure. It was a vessel of salvation, but more than that, it carried the unquenchable fire of the human spirit. Even after catastrophe, the dawn of a new day is possible.